Hello, wonderful class. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, okay? Let's try to stay with our heads in the game, okay? It might get a little bit complicated, but I think we'll be okay. So let's see. Given line AB, we have line AB and line CD in the plane. Remember what plane is? We're talking about coordinate plane, okay? A third line, EF, here's EF, is called a transversal. Transversal. If it intersects, so we have two lines so far, and we have our third line, EF, which is called a transversal. If it intersects line AB, right? This is two arrows on the top means line. So if it intersects line AB at a single point, so notice that EF intersects AB at a single point, only one point there of intersection, and it also intersects CD at a single point, but different, okay? So notice here, EF is a transversal because it intersects AB, right? It intersects AB at one point, and it intersects CD at another point. Different point, but only one, okay? Line AB and line CD are parallel if and only if the following types of pairs are, the following angle are congruent or supplementary, okay? Remember what congruent means and supplementary? Congruent means equal, and supplementary means two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So we're looking for two angles that add up to 180 degrees, or two angles that are congruent, and that will tell us that those two lines are parallel, okay? So this is the conditions that must happen. So what are the corresponding angles here? What are the corresponding angles? So corresponding, okay? Corresponding is a key word here. And what does that mean? It means that angle A and angle E are corresponding. Also notice that where they're placed in here, so where they're placed in the diagram. So here's A and here is E. Notice that these are on the exact same place. If I were to place one on top of the other, they would correspond with each other, okay? They'd be placed in the same exact area. So where is the next one? Where's the next corresponding angle? We have angle, that's the symbol for angle D and angle H, and angle H, okay? Notice where D and H are. Notice where D and H are. Here's D and here's H, okay? D and H. Okay, now let's look at alternate interior angle. What are the alternate interior angles? Alternate interior. First of all, the interior angles, where are they, right? Is A an interior angle? Of course not. A is not an interior angle. Is B an interior angle? Definitely not. Okay? Neither is G nor H. The interior angles are on the inside. Here, on the inside. Those are the interior angles. Now, alternate, right? What does alternate mean? So, we have that angle C and angle F, right? Angle C and angle F. Angle C, notice, and angle F. They are alternate, opposite from each other. Opposite. They are equal. Those two angles are equal. What are the other two? There's two more. We have E and D. Also angles E angle E, and angle D. Okay? Now, last thing here, those two are congruent, by the way. Equal in measure, they're congruent. So, same side interior angles. Again, we're talking about the interior angles. We're talking about the interior angles. So that's just angle C and angle E. They're on the same side. Notice that C and E are on the same side, okay? They're on the same side, and they're on the interior as well. They are on the interior. And lastly, we have D and, sorry about that notation, angle D and angle F, and angle F. Okay, if you have questions about that, ask in class. Okay, make sure to ask in class. Next, we have here a little example, okay? So we need to solve for angle D. Angle D. Using what we already know, let's solve for angle D. So we're given that this angle here is 48 degrees, and here's angle D, okay? What do we know about these things? This diagram is flipped upside down, so in your head, if you can picture this diagram, flip the other way, okay? How would it be placed? How is this diagram similar to this diagram, okay? So, notice from before, we know a lot of things already. These two angles are called what kind of angles? What are those angles? Those are, yes, vertical angles. Vertical angles. So this angle is also 48 degrees because we know that vertical angles are congruent. Great, we know vertical angles are congruent. Now since we know that angle, since we know that one, we know a few more things too. So there's a couple of ways of doing this, okay? So here we have vertical angles. What do we know about this one and this one? Those are alternate interior, okay? Alternate interior. So since they're alternate interior, they are equal. Guess what? This is also 48 degrees. And lastly, these two here are what kind of angles? They are, again, vertical angles. So therefore, since they're vertical angles, angle D will also measure 48 degrees. And you could do this a different way too. You could try that, explore that way, a different way. See you tomorrow.